Hey guys, this is Those Guys and Sometimes Gals with your host, Matt Marrero, along with Tristan Walter and your special guest for today, Ashley Colpan. Say hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you. I was hoping someone would pick up on it. Yeah, so, okay. So, first off, in case this is your first time listening, hi, Matt. So what's going on? Also, if it isn't your first time listening, hello again. How are you doing? Has your life been going well, listener? I hope it has. Today we're going to be talking about the 14th Dragon Ball Z movie. Technically the 15th, or actually no, what is it, the 20th Dragon Ball, I think? But the Z thing, right? 14th Dragon Ball Z film, Battle of Gods, or in the Japanese, God to God, which doesn't make it sound as epic. Because, I don't know about you guys, but I think the English dub name of the movie, Battle of Gods, makes it sound like everyone's just going to die violently. Right?
Yeah.
Like just Battle of Gods. Just, oh God, no, not Krillin, not again.
You mean they don't?
Yeah, right? Oh, I'm sorry, Tristan. You didn't see the English dub. They actually added in extra footage. Krillin dies twice. Krillin became Kenny in the movie. It was awesome. It was just like, like Gohan was just like, Gohan screamed like, you bastards a couple of times. It was awesome. Yeah. But no, it was a very interesting movie. In case you guys don't know, listeners, yeah, the movie came out dubbed. You should definitely still try and go see it. You can see it, I think, up until Saturday at your local theaters. Check them out because the dub's coming there first before the DVD. And, yeah, we've been skipping around with movies, but it's kind of interesting, because we did the Broly trilogy. We haven't really done movie 9 yet, or 12 and 13, but, I mean, this is a big event. This is the first DBZ movie in America for 7 years, right? In Japan, it was a 17-year gap. Like, think about that, guys. Like, the last DBZ movie or Dragon Ball movie that came out in Japan before, this movie came out last year was 17 years ago.
Wow.
I'm surprised Japan might implode on itself.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, that was. I'm very happy that Ashley was the one that was very just like, whoa, man, gnarly, dude. Yeah, Ashley's been hanging out with RVD, and if you get that joke, good for you. Sorry, Tristan, you don't. But anyway, so let's actually talk about the movie. Okay, well, thank you too. Oh, by the way, in case anyone doesn't know, we talk about spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, and you're like, oh no, I understand. I'm crazy with spoilers too. Don't listen to the show yet. Now, if you don't care, everyone dies. As we said before, that wasn't a joke. Everyone dies, and they're starting off the show brand new, fresh, with Goku's the only one alive. Earth was destroyed, and the Dragon Balls along with them. And Beerus also destroyed Planet Namek. That's what happened, yep. You look it up and then find out that I'm lying. Yeah. So anyway, what did you first off, Tristan, what did you think about the comedy in this movie?
I'm still trying to get my mind back together after you just blew it.
Okay. Well, while you're picking up the pieces, Ashley, what did you think about the comedy in this movie?
It was awesome. I mean, what more is there really to say? I mean, if I ever get another cat, I'm going to have to name it Beerus now. Like, he was hilarious and so evil. Even though he was like, technically the bad guy, I loved him. He was just cool.
What I like is that he was evil, but not like in a... Because here's the thing, he was evil, but once you really got to know him, he was a lot better than someone like Frieza, who is basically Space Hitler. Like, fuck that guy. Or thing, basically. Fuck that androgynous thing. No, because when you look at Beerus, right, you think he's evil on the surface, but then you get to know him, and he's pretty much a child.
He's like a cat. Yeah, I mean, he's a cat, so I feel he had a lot of cat personality things. I mean... I don't know. I don't think that was like the correct way to say it. Cat personality things. That's not.
Cats are evil, is what you're trying to say.
Not that they're evil. It's just that he was only concerned with what he wanted, which is a very cat thing to do. He's like, well, I think it's pudding, so Earth is going to be destroyed, and that's the way it goes because I'm Beerus and I get what I want. And I got to say, most cats are like that, and I made that connection, and I thought that was pretty cool.
So you're racist against cats is what?
I'm going to punch you in your teeth.
What I hate is that she's actually in the room with me, so it's plausible.
I'm looking at you right now.
Yeah, see, I always say that, but I never get to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to turn around. I just assume that she's standing right behind me, a bit like The Ring, The Grudge. The point is I'm looking at my computer screen and at my notes, and I'm praying to my God, to Beerus, the God of destruction. Please destroy the earth before Ashley Colpan destroys me. All right. So speaking of this movie, because we were kind of talking about the movie, I thought the comedy was great, and also Ashley and I just got to see the Japanese version again. Something really cool to say to you, Tristan. The Funimation was very accurate, which sadly is something that they don't do as much. Not that Funimation is bad, but as you know, as we talked about before, Tristan, they're very loose sometimes. Like, you remember Android 13, right? Yeah, that's all we need to hear from Tristan. Evil maniacal laughter. I mean, there were just some parts in that movie that I wasn't a big fan of, just down to the fish jumps, and of course your favorite line from Trunks, the red ribbon line. Yeah, red ribbon redneck. So it was, I don't know, I feel as if this movie, it did add in some comedy, by the way. There was a few lines added in, two specifically, when King Kai and Bubbles, remember when they were running from Beerus, going into King Kai's house? In the original Japanese, he was like, "Run, Bubbles." In the English, he said, "Get your bananas and get in here." Right? So it's interesting because, they said that, but, and also another line, in the Japanese, there was silence when Bulma was taking Beerus and Whis down to the party. In English, he just says, really drunk, by the way, "Look, everybody, Vegeta has friends." And it was, mind you, but what's good is this movie, because of how funny it was normally in the original Japanese, I still found it hilarious. It lent itself to it. And I think that's something that Funimation now, in their old age, has really gotten used to, where if it's something like, let's say, Hatalia, which I know both of you have seen, if it lends itself to it, they will add in some comedy. But it's okay because it is comedic in nature, where many of the Dragon Ball Z films, I feel, were more action-packed. There were comedic moments, but, I mean, right, like they were very action-packed, and some of the comedy was a bit, it didn't fit as well, than like in this film. But, hey, Ashley. Oh, sorry, Tristan.
No, I was just going to say, like, unlike in this movie where they kind of return to that Dragon Ball sense of humor. If you've never watched Dragon Ball and you don't know what I'm talking about, well, I'm just going to leave it at that.
No, see, that's what's funny. I think that a lot of people, like Ashley, what's great is, Ashley, you read the manga that I lent you. So you were completely into this entire film. That's one word, precisely. So, yeah, that's how cool I am with the slang and the hip stuff. Yeah, it's just that, and it's funny because I think if you didn't read the manga, or if you didn't really, like if you were just a kid who started off with Dragon Ball Z, you maybe know Dragon Ball because, back in the Toonami days, they did air it. But I don't know if I've mentioned this to you, Ashley, they aired it out of order in America, at least for what actually got picked up, the whole thing. So Dragon Ball Z got picked up fully in America before Dragon Ball did. So most of us as kids, sat there and went, yeah, Goku's old. He's fighting Raditz. Big whoop. What else is that? Yeah, good. Where it's like, no, guys, like in Japan, no, there's so much more beforehand that you're missing. So I think a lot of people might have missed that comedy. So in their head, maybe, I'm hoping not, but in their head, this movie may have been a bit too comedic for them, which is upsetting because that's Dragon Ball Z for you. Also, by the way, if you want to call in and talk about this movie with us, please call in. The number is 718-664-9468. Again, the number is 718-664-9468. Because, hey, we have 3. The more the merrier, right?
Oh, shit, I got to call in. What was that number again?
All right, it was 1-800, go fuck yourself.
Okay,
whoa.
Wait a minute.
Oh, look at you. You're late to the party, like GT. Not understanding how bad it was until it got canceled. Speaking of GT, Ashley, yeah, I'm so sorry, actually. I feel really bad that I said it to you. I'm so sorry. I'm going to
leave now.
There's the digital door. Speaking of GT and Ashley, you, I want everyone to know, she's been spared GT as of yet. For some reason, we haven't had the chance to watch it, and I think she's a better person because of it. So I just want to mention she's been spared, and I'm very happy. Dragon Ball GT is a very, very bad thing. And,
okay. I'm sure you'll change that eventually.
Yeah, I'll show it to her, and what's great is
that's all right.
No,
I'm good. That's okay.
No. What's great is I'll show it to her. It's great. I'll show it to her, and she'll just sit there, and I feel like every minute just be like, oh, so this is the piece of shit. Oh, so this is the piece. Oh. Like, just understanding, like, I understood everything you said during that podcast.
Oh, boy.
You're just going to put it on, and she's just going to get up and be like, I'm going to go.
Yeah, like, I don't got to be here. I don't have time ain't nobody got time for that. But anyway,
not even
you brought
dignifying this with a response.
Just quiet and silent. Speaking of, before you mentioned Beerus, Ashley, and the reason why I'm bringing him up again is because what's very funny is, so in the beginning of the film, right, Whis is trying to wake up Beerus, right, and
God.
You set this alarm. Ashley, did that not remind you of someone?
Who, me? This is why I connect to Beerus. I'm Beerus.
No,
I am Beerus. That's just me. I will always, almost every day, set an alarm on my phone, look at Matt, and say, make sure I get up. And then when he tries to wake me up, it's almost always an argument, like a legit fight. We're about to fight each other. So I was in the theater, and once that was happening, I saw, he was saying to Beerus, like, you set this alarm yourself. I almost jumped out of my seat. I was like, that's me. I did it. Destroy our world.
I was actually going to make that. Thank you for saying that, Ashley. Yeah, I'm currently sitting right next to the God of Destruction, and I'd also like to mention that here's what's best about it. We saw the movie on Tuesday, right? What I enjoy the most is the alarm situation. It wasn't a huge fight, but the alarm situation that had just happened before going to the movie. She was tired, and I had to tell her, okay, yeah, take a nap. I'll wake you up before the movie so we can leave and go see it. And then we see that, and we just both looked at each other, and she just whispered. She just said, "That's me." And I think that's just interesting. I mean, I'm sure you've noticed that Sabrina is also like that, Tristan.
Yeah, she has her moments.
Yeah. Oh dear. But anyway, also, all right. So we've obviously all three of us here have seen all the DBZ movies. How do you guys feel? Well, first off, Tristan, how do you feel that they actually tried to make this movie canon? How does it feel to actually sit there and go, hey, look, this happened?
I was fine with it. I didn't really see any problems with making it canon.
It was definitely good enough.
Yeah, we'd always joke around about trying to fit all the other movies in where it's physically and temporally impossible for them to fit in, but we did it anyway, so...
Oh yeah. Sadly, Ashley's been unable to listen to our other podcasts. Just a couple of highlights. Hey, look. So so and so is like, what is it? Oh, look, this has to fit in between the fact that, like, Fusion Reborn, which we haven't gotten to yet, but here's a lovely one, just a little tidbit to throw this in there. Yeah. Oh, Goku's fighting in the Otherworld tournament, so that's when it happened. Goku just referenced Majin Buu. Fuck all of you. Oh, look, Goku knows what fusion is. That's awesome. Yeah, because Goku knew what fusion was when he was dead. Oh, hey, look, Vegeta's dead, too. That didn't happen when he tried to destroy Majin Buu. Bro! How great is that? Where it's like, oh, look, it started off really canon. And then it's like, and then it's just like, so let's just take a giant shit on this.
Very not.
Yeah, it's just, so that's the thing. It's really nice. Like, Ashley, how do you feel the fact that you can walk out of this movie and go, hey, look, this all happened, right?
Well, like I said, I mean, it was definitely good enough. I personally think it's cool. I mean, I definitely like. You know what I love that happened? I love this right here. My Bulma! That is good that it was canon. I'm sorry, but Bulma has always been one of my favorite characters ever since I started reading the manga. I don't know why I connected with her, probably because she's a really strong-minded, bitchy girl, and I like it. And I love Vegeta just because everyone loves funny little grumpy-ass Vegeta. And not to mention he danced in this one. So everything that happened with Vegeta, honestly, he was like my favorite part of this movie, I have to say, and I don't know why. But if for nothing else, those things made it worth it. But then the entire thing was awesome, too, so it's like... Yeah, why not, right?
I was going to get to that later.
And I want to see Beerus more. As you can see, I really like Beerus. And not to, like, jump ahead, like, you know, with other things about the movie, but, you know, the whole, what was it, the other universes, what was it, like 12 or something?
I was going to bring that up later, but that is a great point.
I think that's great. They can build on that, like, yeah.
Most definitely. They added in a lot that they can definitely build on. You know, we'll get to it later, but I mean, just to say right here,
yeah, not to jump ahead, sorry.
No, I understand.
Totally
completely.
Relevant to my answer, though. Not sorry.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. Well, you can go to hell. What is also great too, by the way, Ashley hasn't seen GT, so I'll just make this brief. It'll only be a couple minutes. They actually made GT non-canon, which is also cool. What they did was, at the beginning of GT, Goku is at Kami's tower training with Oob, not even in the hyperbolic time chamber, strangely, just in a random room in, like, the tower. And so he's training with Oob there, and an older, like, 80-year-old looking Pilaf, his two assistants, they're all there, and they summon the Dragon Balls, although these are the Black Dragon Balls. We'll talk about what those are in a second, but they end up trying to they're like, oh yeah, I think they were trying to make themselves younger, but then they actually made Goku a kid again by accident. And what sucks about these Dragon Balls is these Black Dragon Balls, they're like universal something or other, so they don't just go across the planet, they go across the galaxy. The point being is that obviously GT, because he was training Oob and because it wasn't that far in the future, it can't be, okay, because Pilaf was already a kid in this movie, he can't grow that old. You know? So he can't get that far by the time GT comes. So by the fact that they already made themselves children by the time this movie had come out, GT doesn't matter anymore. It can still be an interesting ride, which is why I do want to show it to you, but it actually is completely non-canon now, which is awesome. Because we don't need that shit anymore. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I thought Tristan died. I thought because of the realization, Tristan was just like, yes, this is my plan all along. Like I see you, Ashley. You were just like nodding and contemplating. You haven't seen GT. But Tristan, I was expecting like by God, you're right. No, just dead. Just, yeah, whatever. He's just happy. Just like, you know what, let's just move away from GT, can we? Anyway, speaking of canon, by the way, the fact that Beerus brought up Frieza was really cool, especially from the fact that Beerus said, oh yeah, let me just go destroy Frieza. Because all he needs to do to kill Frieza is blink. You know, if it took an entire fight at Super Saiyan to kill Frieza, from Goku, as a god, Beerus just blinks, and then the wind from his blink just disintegrates Frieza. I mean, honestly.
Frieza's like cut in half.
Just like in the
three
show.
pieces again. He's just like, the hell just happened?
No, just sits there every single time.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to fight motherfuckers, and every single time, 3 pieces, not even 2. Nope, 3. But, by the way, okay, so, sadly, well, I mean, I can ask you your opinion of it as well, Tristan, but since Ashley and I saw the dub, Ashley, how do you feel about the cursing in the movie? There wasn't a lot of it, but it happened twice. How did you feel about the cursing in the English dub?
In the English dub, it was fine. They just said bastard.
Yes.
There wasn't anything crazy. Like, in the Japanese dub, Vegeta was saying shit. He's like, you old piece of shit.
Fair enough.
I mean, it was, but honestly, I think, it's like, whatever, it's for kids over here, like, they wouldn't do that, but even if they kept it exactly the same way, I feel like in context, it's cool. And I don't know. Like, I feel like it's not like they were saying fuck. Shit's not that bad, right?
It isn't? Oh, actually, it's funny. Shit, actually, I think, could get into... Oh, actually, no, here's how it is. Both shit and bastard cannot be on kids' TV. However, I've heard crap actually said on that iCarly show. So, in theory, crap could be said. It's just, here's the issue. The issue is, of course, you want this to be on, like, on Cartoon Network or something like that. It's upsetting that only because of those two things. I mean, fair enough if the kids are just like, for Cartoon Network, whoever's trying to put it on for kids are like, okay, so there's a hostage scene? And there's porno mags, so maybe not. But the hostage thing can, like, they don't have to, like, you can say, like, these, I don't know. It's weird with guns. It is really weird, I'll admit.
It's
the
a
porno
hammer
thing
on the spring.
is a quick... Yeah, exactly. That's been done before, actually. They've, like, edited stuff in One Piece to, like, say that it was, like, a slingshot instead of a gun. It's hilarious.
No,
but anyway.
It wasn't a slingshot. It was a hammer on a spring and water pistols. The Navy
water pistols,
used
right.
water pistols.
Well, here's the thing, Ashley. That was done by 4Kids, so they were on Channel 5, and they couldn't show the guns anyway on One Piece. But that's an issue, in my opinion, of you don't know what you're dealing with, so you have to. Because at least with DBZ, I think there was more often than not, you didn't really need to edit too much from the show itself, other than maybe some blood here or there. More often than not, you were pretty damn good with the show. It's stuff like One Piece. What?
No, I was going to say, like, I think even when they showed Kai on Nicktoons, like, I watched it a few times just to see how it was. And maybe it was just me, but I could swear that they edited, like, each hit a second out of each hit. So that
maybe they did.
That white flash where you wouldn't actually see them make contact with the hit. I was
curious.
Well, here's the thing.
See, this is why I can never have kids, I guess, because, like, this stuff, I feel like it's like, just who cares? Just show the kids and the parents. Just be like, yeah, don't hit people. It's not good. Don't say shit. Don't say that. Like, just watch the show and enjoy it. No, keep it in your show. Like, I'm sorry.
I need to explain something.
I should contact the FCC.
Yes, basically no, because Ashley, I need to tell you, it actually is an FCC thing. Like, you look at some, okay.
Yeah, I know.
No, because here's the thing. You can show more on Nickelodeon, and that's why Nickelodeon got away with saying crap, compared to the channels 2, 4, 5, 11, all the local stuff. They actually can show less and have to, meaning that, okay, you look at, Ashley, I know you don't know a lot about Pokemon, but do you know about Jinx?
No.
Okay, well, when you think of Jinx, you can also think of someone like Mr. Popo.
Okay.
Yeah, so that whole kind of blackface stereotype. On Cartoon Network.
Oh, yes, you showed me Jinx. I remember we discussed this before.
Yes. And of course, Tristan, you know. So on Cartoon Network, they can show Mr. Popo. Hell, they can even give him a voice that makes him sound like freaking like, oh, Mr. Popo. And you're like, there are many levels of wrong here, right? Yet when they show it on Channel 11, right, because Kai was on the Channel 11 block for a bit, not just Nicktoons, right, where Nicktoons it was, in a way, as uncut as they could, right? On Channel 11 block, they actually couldn't show Mr. Popo because of the way he was because of the fact that blackface is in, like, the FCC rules, like, hey, no, stop that. So they actually had to give him a bluish tint that made him look like, hey, my name is Mr. Popo, ho. Hey, Aladdin, how's it going? Like, he actually
I was about to say, now you sound like Genie.
Yeah, that was the point. He basically he was like, so, like, you know, in on Cartoon Network, it's like, oh, no, it's Kami, what's going on? Like, you know, on, what was it, on Channel 11? Hey, so, Kami, you, got, you know, Goodman Guardian of the Earth, huh? And I was like, wait, what? Like, I'm sorry, Mr. Raleigh. Yeah, exactly. Popo, get right back in that lamp, and it was very interesting. So it's not anyone's fault other than the FCC in a way. So it's like you can't really, because no, it sucks because like if you do show, you know, the only people that I blame for One Piece, right, is 4Kids, because 4Kids, they could have looked at the damn show and saw guns and went, maybe this isn't for us, right? But no, they picked up the show and then they had to make it water pistols and crap. But anyway, getting back to the cursing, I'm just not a big fan because it did make sense in context, fair enough, but it's just there are ways around it, I think, especially when, okay, the one that mattered, I think, right, Vegeta mattered because in the English dub, Vegeta said, you bastard, when Beerus slapped Bulma, fair enough. But it was awkward, I think, and even people in the theater I felt where it got a little tense and weird when Beerus, I forgot who he was talking to. I think he said to Vegeta, or he said something, I think, to Goku or something. He was like, so you're the one that destroyed that bastard Frieza. And I was like, that's pretty grand.
But Frieza is a bastard.
I mean, no, he had a dad.
Wait, what?
Remember Frieza had a dad? King Cold. And he even had a grandfather. Chilled.
And a great-grandfather. Really cold.
Yeah. Like, they had... Arctic, there's an entire family. No, Arctic was his mom. I don't know. His mom was frozen. Anyway, moving on.
What?
So, yeah. What? let it go, Tristan. But anyway, I don't know. I personally, I didn't like the cursing, but I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. I would like this movie to be aired on Cartoon Network with limited editing. Though, hey, I have to be honest, though. It is really hard to do, I feel, when we have cultural gaps. I don't know if you know this, Ashley, but usually on the show we talk about cultural gaps, and 9 out of 10 times it has to do with child nudity, right? So 9 out of 10 times we're basically on the show screaming, baby penis, because that's just those are things that just wouldn't make it past censors. And in this case, they were, obviously there were little stuff, like Master Roshi's quick porn gag or that little fucking hostage scene. Just a little one with a real gun. Nothing major. Nothing that makes you think, this is a kid's movie in Japan. I see what they do there. Nothing big.
You notice that Matt says baby penis on the show a lot.
Hey, all right. I both of you, shut your mouths. It's relevant.
Kidnapping and murder for me is bad, but Matt gets to say baby penis all he wants, and nobody says anything.
Listen, okay? I say baby penis when there's actual context. I want you to understand, Ashley. Tristan made a random joke saying, oh, yeah, maybe like something about murdering and kidnapping on the Bio Broly show, and it was literally out of nowhere, mind you. It was like an alternate plot where it's like, oh, yeah, what if they just all, get murdered? And I was like sitting there thinking, I'm just trying to say, like, that was completely out of context, all right?
Well, I think she should listen to it and decide for herself.
I think all of you should. Actually, if you like our Facebook page, Those Guys on the Radio, you can actually or if you go to our Blog Talk Radio account, Those Guys on the Radio, you can actually see some of our older shows that we've done. And, so definitely like our Facebook. Definitely go on our Blog Talk Radio.
Leave some comments in the comment section. Am I right or is Matt right?
Exactly. You can sit there and just be like, oh, yeah, Matt, you were so right. Or you can say things like, wow, Matt, you really were right. Both sides of the argument, I think, can really be talked about on the page.
Or you could say, hey, Matt, go to hell.
Yeah, or hey, Tristan, you too. Like, I think that we can both bunk in hell, all three of us. We can all just have a nice little, community in hell. It'd be awesome. I mean, hell.
Speak for yourself.
Excuse me, all right? Oh, wait, fine then. I'll go to hell. You'll go to the home for infinite losers. Okay, Ashley, you want to fight? I'll turn around and fight you right here. It's really weird being in the same room.
I'll throw this can at your face.
Yeah, that's actually really bad. We have weapons. We can actually fight while the podcast. I feel like it's a Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing. Honestly, it's a bit interesting. Speaking of Mr. and Mrs.
Is Goku gonna have to go down to hell and break you two up?
I would hope he does, and I love Ashley.
I'm
okay.
Just fucking never mind.
We broke Tristan. But speaking of breaking Tristan, I love the oracle fish because that was totally a perfect segue. I love the oracle fish. I don't know if you remember, just like the little thing, it was very accurate too in English. So it was great to just have, Beerus say, what was it? So do you remember the prophecy that you said 39 years ago? I made a prophecy. It's like, yes, the prophecy where you said that there would be a Super Saiyan God. I did say that. Like, it was just great.
Well, I guess I did.
Yeah, basically. And then from that, Beerus goes, you see, the oracle fish did say that. And I'm like, God damn it, Beerus. God, Beerus is just, oh my God. Also, by the way, I don't know if you noticed this, Tristan, because sadly, obviously Japanese, well, you are learning Japanese. You haven't taken too much of it. And, of course, this involves a lot more, like, really listening to, well, obviously right, Goku speaks in a dialect that is mostly, if we had to translate to English, it would be Southern, right? Sadly, that dialect
is not picked up in the dubs really that much.
Which is upsetting. But at the same time, something that is cool that the dub did do, because if you listen very closely in Japanese, right, when Goku speaks to Beerus for the first time, after King Kai said, hey, be respectful, right, Goku speaks very respectfully. He changes his tone up, and he actually adds in certain words, and he makes them, instead of saying things like, tana, like things like that, he's like, right, in the English dub, they actually had him, speak like, yes, of course, Lord Beerus, sir, your lord. It is a pleasure for you to be meeting me. And just completely just fucking up everything. It was great. So even though he doesn't have a Southern accent, it was still really nice that they did something that I think they were really able to translate the jokes well, I think. A lot of things really hit well, and it was, I think that's what really made it such a good film, too, is because there was, I think barely any of the jokes didn't really hit. I think the only two things that may not have hit so well, I think. One, I think maybe the porn gag might have gotten some people a bit thrown off because in the show, if you're someone who only watched the show on TV, let's say, right, there's a lot obviously cut out of Master Roshi's perviness. So I think, because there were some kids in the theater, and I assume maybe the dad brought the kids because the kids either liked it or maybe the dad used to like it when he was younger. So it's kind of interesting, I think, to, have Master Roshi go, hey, among the prizes, is one of them some porn DVDs? No.
Yeah, but in the English dub, I think he just said dirty movies.
Fair enough, actually. He might have just said dirty movies, actually.
I remember it was something like dirty movies. It was toned down. It wasn't like they didn't actually say porn.
Right, yes. In the Japanese version, they did say porn, which is nice because it isn't toned down too much, but it still kind of is. It's enough, but it isn't too bad.
To be fair, Matt, here's one example that basically would make it not really, why that joke was in there. I actually saw a clip of Rugrats recently, and it was... It was a clip of...
The Space Vixen?
Yes,
Lonely Space Vixens. And he goes, but that's for when you two go to bed.
Well, but it's so... That's what I like. I like that they do some of that, too. Like, they actually did something like that in Gravity Falls recently, sort of, where Dipper was trying to look for something in his great-uncle Stan's room, and he goes into one of the drawers. He opens a chest.
Women.
Yes, there was two magazines. One of them said Fully Clothed Women. The other one said swimsuit edition, and it was like a long, very, not the whole attractive skinny swimsuits. It was like a long one piece or something.
Oh.
And I think that's funny. I think especially me, because I didn't even watch the show. I just read the manga. I totally, every time I see Roshi, I expect something pervy, so it never surprises me. Once again, I didn't really watch the show, so I don't know how that was translated. I mean, I'm sure they toned it down.
No. Actually, here's the thing. The American version did. Yes, the American version cut things out. But once, thankfully,
that's what I meant.
Thankfully, you and I have the DVDs. So when you see them, you'll see that they actually cranked it up to 10 for some of the filler, which was very upsetting. I mean, in one of the filler arcs, randomly, not filler arcs, but filler moments, Master Roshi tried to, I think, lunge for Android 18's breasts or something to do a motorboat or something like that.
The puff puff.
Yeah, the puff puff. Yeah.
And then she started cranking his face into a swirl. She smacked him so hard that his head started to spin in one direction.
Yeah.
And then he went for it again, and she just takes the other hand and grabs the rest of his head, and she starts spinning him so quickly that he goes to the opposite end of the ship that they were in, and you just see an imprint of him coming out of the spaceship.
Right, yeah. It was one of
those... like that they have the women beat him after he tries any of his nasty shit.
Yeah, the best part of it was Marin was sitting in her lap, and she just, picks her up and just puts her on the floor, and she's kind of, laughing nervously, oh, God, she's going to kill him now, isn't she?
Yeah, you see, that's the problem, too, where, I don't know, I feel as if, believe me, Master Roshi is a pervert, obviously, but I do believe that some of the other stuff, the special that Ashley and I saw, which, of course, you saw, too, Tristan, the Shonen Jump special that actually included Tarble, Vegeta's brother, that also had him being a bit too pervy, I think. He just, I admit, yeah, he's a perv, but I honestly feel in the manga, maybe because they haven't shown him as much, but he's gotten better as the manga went on. Where in the anime, they just kept on, they cranked it up even more every single time he appeared. And of course it's for gags, but obviously I think that's another cultural gap where in America, you have people not really laughing so much oh, well, that old pervert. More wow, I don't like that guy, which is upsetting because, because it's played more as a comedy. So, but anyway, also, by the way, were either of you two surprised about the whole Dragon Balls being in the prize room thing? Because I thought Pilaf was going to find some stupid crap. The house or whatever. I did not expect him to find the 7 magic Dragon Balls just plopped right there.
I was surprised, but in the back of my head, I was thinking, wouldn't it be funny if, all the Dragon Balls are there and anyone can make it work? I swear, I was how hilarious that is. I was oh, well, all right.
Ashley is very good at that. Ashley's very good at that, by the way. During the special with Tarble, I swear to God, she said, and this is a true story. Tarble was there, right, with his wife, and they said, and Vegeta, I think it was Vegeta, so who is that, right? And she, just being an idiot, was just oh, that's my wife. Split second later, not even a second she's finished with this sentence, Tarble goes, "Oh yeah, that's my wife." And we were just done because I did not expect her to say that. And she looks at me, she goes, "I was making a joke." Like, she wasn't, but then she said, "You know what? Tarble's a good guy. Tarble's a nice guy. Just, he doesn't care, and that's nice. He just loves his wife because, you know what? He loves his wife."
Well, he's at some random planet, so that's probably the best he can get. I bet everyone on that planet looks weird.
Oh.
They never say what planet he's from, let's remember, or what planet he went to.
Everyone else is like a tree.
Yeah.
Like he's just like
this thing. We're we match up anatomically. That's the best I could ask for.
God damn it! I'm trying to compose myself here. Okay, so now let's go to something that's sad. I felt this was sad anyway. Okay, King Vegeta and Beerus. That flashback. I felt really bad for Vegeta. Honestly,
that was rough.
I mean, he was a kid, Like, I mean, how do you feel, Tristan? Like, he was a kid, and his world, I feel, was shattered,
Yeah, it's basically, if I had to think of what Vegeta was going, why is my father on his knees for another man again?
Oh, God. Well, I mean,
Vegeta. He's just like, first it's Frieza, now it's this guy. I don't even know who the hell this guy is. What the hell is going on?
His dad slaps him in the face, just, "Don't you ever call Frieza a man." Frieza is an anatomically Ken-dollish thing. Don't you ever call him a man. You refer to him as Ken. All right? Yes, sir. Like, imagine that. Just like he walks up to Frieza accidentally. He's like, "So, Master Ken, what was that? I mean, Lord Frieza."
Yeah.
But seriously, yeah. I mean, I, like you said, Ashley, that was very rough because first off, it makes sense, which is crazy. How again canon, but it's just so strange because to us, yeah, I mean, yes, King Vegeta was kind of like, oh yeah, Lord Frieza. But I don't really think we actually saw him on his knees. At least on the manga, we didn't really see him on his.
No.
Yeah, so he reported into Frieza, but he did not really seem to be like, oh well, of course, Lord Frieza. No, for Lord Beerus, it was like, okay, if I sneeze on this guy's foot down here because it's dusty, because the goddamn housemaid doesn't do his damn job, right?
We will all die.
We'll all die, right? Doesn't it suck? It's like, oh no, if I sneeze, we'll all die. But thank goodness I'm not sneezing, because the Vegeta Empire will live on forever.
Yeah.
There will never be a time where people will go, Planet Vegeta, didn't that explode? Nope, never.
I know why. Now I know why Beerus called Frieza a bastard. He got rid of his favorite chair.
Yep, that's totally why. He really liked that chair. That was the only reason. But anyway, moving on. So we mentioned before those whole, the cultural gaps thing and the freaking hostage situation. But something good came from it. It led to a great Saiyaman appearance, something that I really didn't expect in this movie.
I wish Videl took part. That's all I have to say. I mean, I know it wouldn't have fit because of, like, the thing he was doing or whatever, but I would have loved to see her get in her little costume, too.
But she was pregnant.
It was still a secret at that time. Please. She could have went with it.
Don't
but
worry,
like I said, I know
Saiyaman
for the specific thing that was happening, the
great
little hostage
Saiyaman
thing.
is here.
I get it.
Yeah, right? Like, I have to say, though, we haven't gotten to Wrath of the Dragon yet when we actually see both Great Saiyaman and Great Saiyaman 2. But I would like to mention that if anyone doesn't know, that's actually a tokusatsu reference. See, Toriyama is a huge fan of tokusatsu, and tokusatsu, as we mentioned before, is basically the Japanese word for special effects. So in Japan, with things that have special effects for them are usually their like Japanese superhero shows, some stuff like some of their other like giant monster stuff like Godzilla. Some of their other superhero shows, like in Japan, are usually stuff like Super Sentai, which became Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, which became Masked Rider here, or Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, and also Ultraman, which has become Ultraman here. Kept its name. Good. So anyway, now the Kamen Rider thing is very important because in Japan, Kamen Riders are based off of bugs usually. Sometimes they're not, but usually the main heroes are based off of bugs. And Gohan not only has the antenna thing, but he also does that whole, the superhero poses, and he wears the green and the cape like some Kamen Riders have done. And in the original series, they were 2 Kamen Riders. The first one, the actual actor got injured doing his own stunts, so they brought in a second guy to be a Kamen Rider. But he didn't take over his spot. He became Kamen Rider Nigo, which is Kamen Rider 2. So in other words, you can see, and then when the actor for the first Kamen Rider got better, he came back and they reunited on screen. So it was Kamen Rider 1, Ichigo, Kamen Rider 2, Nigo. And then now it's funny because when they do this, is really an homage to them, because you have Great Saiyaman 1 and Great Saiyaman 2. That's why they didn't make her Great Saiyawoman or something, because it was a direct reference to the Kamen Rider franchise. And it was very funny as they're posing, along with the fact that they were a couple, and that the Kamen Rider 2, who usually was who was supposed to be a really big, strong guy, right, who was always a striker, like he always would do wrestling type maneuvers and punches onto the, the grunts and stuff. That's played by Videl, who is a female, who's wearing pink, and I'm sure Japan had a really good laugh at that point. But
so both directed that. I know nothing of Kamen Rider.
I know. You know nothing, and I'm sure you found it interesting. I was worried I killed you both. I had to turn around. Did Ashley die from my long explanation? No? Okay.
Well, I mean, when in the Buu saga, when Videl was trying to unmask, who Saiyaman was, didn't she jump on Gohan and grab his head between her thighs and try to threaten to snap his neck?
I'm fairly certain that was filler in the anime, but dear God, I do think I remember that, and dear God. But,
so I think it fits really well.
Yeah. Oh, basically, yeah, her. Well, that's what's cool, too. She actually is a tough cookie, so she does kind of fit along with the Kamen Rider 2 thing. It's just funny because, she's obviously a small female who is wearing
Broly
pink.
And live.
Yeah, right? She kicked Broly, but Broly punched her once, and she lived from that, which is actually because Android 18 is an android. The fact that she lived from that was actually, good for Videl. She's Satan's kid, after all. What is it? Oh, by the way, I know, you mentioned, Ashley, that Videl feels kind of left out, which is true. But hey, I mean, we got to see why, that whole baby thing. And they got to give us a little lesson on gun control.
It only, took Gohan fucking up when he was a little tipsy to get his wife shot in the leg when she was pregnant.
Another culture gap, I think, because Japan is just in Japan it's I guess all the fun and games are over. Gohan sadly got his wife shot. In America, what the fridge? What? Gohan, you catch the damn bullets. You did it in one movie. Why would you deflect them?
I'm going to deflect them into the crowd of my closest friends and family. Oh, wait a minute.
Make sure you shoot it in that direction, too. I'm going to stand right in front of them, shoot it totally in this direction. I'm going to do my best to not get shot. I can't speak for these other people, though.
I mean, I'm honestly surprised that Krillin didn't get one, right between the eyes.
Yeah, Krillin gets all
Krillin.
6. He gets all 6 in his dots, in his Buddhist.
I kept yelling during the show, when they were saying how they needed one more for that to make the Saiyan God. I think I just at one point I just yelled, "It's Krillin!" And someone turned around and looked at me. I was like, "What the hell?" Anytime it was "Oh no, we need someone to save us," or something heroic had happened, I was like, "Krillin, we need you, man. This is you, all you. Why aren't you doing anything, Krillin?"
The saddest thing in the world is the way he's come back from death, or close to death. If he was Saiyan, I think he would just be the god just on principle. I think if he wasn't Saiyan, he just would have been the god automatically, where it's just we need a Super Saiyan god. Don't worry, guys. I got this. Yeah! His destructo disc can, destroy universes.
I need you to kill me one more time really quick. Krillin, I really don't think this is the time for that. Just do it.
All of a sudden, they're so we killed him as he's, going up to heaven. Damn it, Dende was right there. Could we not have... Like no one got it. Like no one got it. Like, oh wait, maybe Dende should have revived him. You think?
Dende's just like, oh wait, was that me?
Yeah.
Dende's eating the pudding.
Yeah, like, oh, sorry guys, pudding's good. Like Beerus, I know, right? I mean, like that damn pudding.
I know. That's why I'm going to kill you all.
Yeah.
How did you get some?
Majin Buu, he was nice. But getting back to that Great Stairman thing, though, before we get on to that, I really want to thank Japan for the gun control thing, by the way, because it's like, it's kind of funny, where it's like, oh, they gave it like a nice little lesson, right? Because like, kids shouldn't be playing with guns. And it's like, actually, fair enough. Thanks, Japan. Also, thanks for Vegeta dancing. Thanks for all of that.
That was awesome.
I honestly envision Vegeta, like if they do another movie, he's just going to have a heavy drinking problem after this.
Oh my God. Yeah, Vegeta's currently he hates his life right now. He's like, I danced like a monkey. Oh. Like he feels he's like, oh. All of a sudden, like dead Frieza, how did you dance, Vegeta? Shut up!
The next time we see him, he's going to be sitting in Capsule Corp in front of, like in a dark room with the TV just on. He's going to be in like his underwear in a white theater drinking like a huge beer, like, please leave me alone. I can't deal with this anymore. Like watching like some horrible reality show or something. Like Vegeta's just giving up on life.
Just haunted by Frieza's ghost. So, did you dress like, did you dance like a monkey, Vegeta? I dressed like a prime-ape American.
And just like Trunks walks in, he's just like, I was going to ask you something, Dad, but I'll come back later.
This is clearly not that. Goodbye. Yeah, but by the way, so now that we've gotten up to the epic thing that Boo did, and I say epic because Boo just caused in theory, Boo, if Beerus had actually, blown the entire planet up, Boo would have helped destroy the Earth. It would have took him a while. Boo would have gotten his original, the original goal of destroying the entire Earth. Sure, it wouldn't have exactly, been the exact way, but I mean, it would have kind of worked.
And then we find out that was his plan all along.
That was his, like just all Bobbity is like there, like inside Boo, like just absorbed, just going.
He pops out of his belly.
Yeah,
pops out of his belly fat, like.
Oh God.
Like just. So you thought the pudding was just pudding, didn't you? It was actually my plan. Shut up! You go back in Boo's stomach now. Okay.
Like stuffs him in his belly button.
Well, I've been mentally scarred for life. I just imagine Bobby's head just like oozing out of his stomach and just saying, "Yeah, I'm alive."
Not a very good life, but alive.
Yeah, this still happens.
And Vegeta with his. After, Bills just kicks the crap out of everybody, Vegeta just looks at Goku, with the whole Majin Buu helped him and everything. He just looks at him like, called it, and dies.
Oh, my God. But seriously, though, and I mean this completely seriously, how much sense does it make that, it would be Majin Buu, right? It would be freaking Buu to fight over pudding.
Everything up.
To fight over, to fight over pudding and make the god of destruction angry. Like, we've talked about a lot of funny things in this movie and stuff, and some of them could arguably be considered out of place. But honestly, that just made so much sense to me. I mean, how did you guys feel?
Oh, it was perfect.
Yeah, I thought it was
funny that he
fitting.
gets kicked off over any little thing and will destroy a world. And that's like, of course you're there, Boo. Of course.
Of course you can't share one fucking pudding cup out of the entire, fucking crate that Bulma probably had there.
Yeah. Oh, my God, that was
always
just
could have
great.
gotten like another crate for him on speed dial.
Basically, you're so rich, Bulma, you can fucking buy mansions. How about you buy some more fucking pudding? It was just great, though. It made so much sense. And then something that was really crazy was, when Beerus had the chopsticks, right, and he beat up he beat up Android 18, but it was still pretty crazy, how those two other guys, what were their names? So was it Tien and Piccolo? How they tried to... It's funny, like, I want to make a joke, but honestly, I believe, in theory, the power ranking is, like, Android 18, Piccolo, Tien. So it's like, when they sent all three to fight Beerus, in a way, I was like, okay, not exactly the cream of the crop, but I mean, you know, they're people that can get punched in the face.
I like how he picked Tien up with the chopsticks and then threw him. He used the chopsticks.
Oh, yeah, and he even used them to knock out Piccolo, which I swear I thought he died. I was like, that's not good.
His pupils disappeared.
Piccolo Piccolo and Tien just appear on King Kai's planet again. They just look at each other like, no one saw that, right?
No, this shit again. Yeah, right? Like, just imagine that's how you have to go into heaven. So how did you die? Chopsticks. Aren't you, like, superhuman or something? Shut up.
It was a god of destruction wielding them.
Yeah, right? Like,
okay.
Oh, so, yeah.
King Yama's just, like, flipping the page. Next.
No, flipping out, just, the god of destruction, where is he? Oh, he's on Earth. Oh, thank God he's not here. Okay, next. But, by the way, something that really, it didn't hit me so much the first time. Like, I found it kind of like, oh, this is nice, but it really hit me the second time when I saw it today. I wonder if Gohan ever thought he'd be saving Majin Buu's life. Like, I wonder, like, remember that time he kind of showed up and he was like, I'm here to kill you. Right? I wonder if he ever thought, yep, one day I'll be saving this thing's life from the god of destruction. That's just our world.
Hey, Boo, you remember that time you blasted me in the face and knocked me unconscious and left me in the forest for about, 10 episodes? Those were good times.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted me to help you?
Remember that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But basically, yeah. But hey, I mean, it's okay because my Bulma. Oh, what I love is that Ashley, who connects so much with Bulma, at that point looked at me and she was like, "My Vegeta," and I was like, yeah, I would totally do that. I would totally defeat the god of destruction for you, baby. Yeah.
And then I come in and save your ass.
Basically, because you are totally Goku with your orange sweaters, you bastard. Actually, he wears red sweaters, so you're actually going to die. You need orange, my friend. I always wear blue. Totally love blue. I have long black hair.
And I have blue hair.
No, you don't. Don't lie to the audience. They can't see you,
hair.
but don't lie to them, Blondie. She's basically...
Matt, you lie to the audience all the time.
What? I'm the most handsome man in the world. No, you don't. Okay. She has blue hair half the time. Don't talk to her when she sneezes, though. Anyway, but the Bulma thing was great, though. Oh, by the way, I believe we saw lunch, not here actually, I believe we saw lunch in that special with Tarble, which was really interesting because she didn't have any speaking lines, but just the fact that we saw her at the dinner was just really nice because it's like, people forget about lunch. Actually, true story, I'm fairly certain that Toriyama actually forgot about lunch. I'm fairly certain that there was an interview.
Right.
There was, right? There was an interview where he said, I forgot that she existed, and that's why we don't see her a lot.
Yeah, I think that is a thing, yes.
And she's so cool. That's a shame.
It is, yeah.
There's so much to be done with her.
But sadly, I mean, what really could she do when she's only a human? I mean, she has that crazy ability because that's Dragon Ball humor for you.
No, I just mean because she, changes back and forth. I just think that's funny.
Fair enough. But, yeah, I think that would have been great during the fight with Cell, I'd have to say. Just, who are you? Like, he absorbs her. He's like, I don't understand. Oh, God. Like, or either that or Majin Buu absorbs her. Who's like, I feel strange. Like, I'm angry. Wait, no, happy. I don't, I just freaked out.
Just
Buu
get,
explodes.
Blonde hair that pops out of their head, and it's like, where did this come from?
Oh, my God. But yes, so we had the My Bulma scene, which is very interesting because we learned that apparently Vegeta went Super Saiyan 3. He wasn't actually Super Saiyan 3, but apparently his power had surpassed Goku. And because this wasn't GT, Super Saiyan 4 does not exist. So in theory, Super Saiyan 3 is the highest they can go, and in that instance showed that Vegeta is stronger than Goku. At that one point he was. Before, which is funny because it sucks because it's like, oh, look, Vegeta's stronger than Goku. Wow. You sit there. So now Goku just has to one-up him.
I'm going to be a god now. Thanks.
Yeah, by the way, so Vegeta, I'm sorry, who in here is a god?
I like how Vegeta was like, why does it get to be, what did he say? Why does it get to be Kakarot?
Yeah, right, why can't, because it didn't have to be. That's what's great. You could have chosen anyone. It's like, let's choose him. I have an objection.
No, Vegeta just looks over to Krillin. You should have fucking stabbed me back when you first fought me.
Yeah.
Krillin just looks up at him, and he's like, nah, I think I made the right choice.
Yeah, basically. But also, by the way, I don't know if you noticed this, because this was another thing that, in Japanese you could hear, but it was a lot funnier in English because of, English is all three of our native tongues, right? When Shenron met Beerus, funniest thing. I don't know if you noticed it in Japanese, Tristan, but basically in English, because Shenron was like, oh, you have a lot of questions. What are you asking me this for? They're like, oh yeah, well, Beerus is asking about it. Beerus? He's the god of destruction is here? Yeah, he's right over there. Hello, Lord Beerus. It's very nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did the same thing in the Japanese, like, oh, Beerus-sama, how are you today?
No, they did, but it was really funny because
the deep Shenron voice, and he's just like, how are you today?
Yeah, no, it was funny because, of course, Chris Sabat, who's very good at his job, who's so many people on the show. We've talked about this before. It was very funny to see just the way he did it as Shenron, in English, was very funny, especially when he left. Something that they changed up a bit was still great. When he left, he just said, excuse me, Lord Beerus. He actually said, excuse me for leaving. Like, excuse me, I must leave, excuse me. Like, as if he was saying, please excuse me. I know you're the god of destruction, but my wish has been granted. I must leave. And I'm sitting here, and I'm like, damn it, guys. This movie, it was just such, as we said before, it was such a Dragon Ball nod that if you haven't seen Dragon Ball or read it, go back and do it, because it's definitely, it means something, The humor is very wacky, but I really think it fit in this movie. I mean, one of my complaints that I will admit, and it's not a big one, I do think that even though the humor was fitting, obviously, I don't know, how did you feel, Tristan? I felt as if there were a lot of cuts. Not cuts to the footage, I mean scene cuts. A lot of the humor that were scene cuts were I feel like they were a bit off. Something felt a bit off. Not about the humor, but about the cuts themselves. How did you feel about that, Tristan?
Yeah, I think I kind of feel it mostly when he's with King Kai.
Actually, no, King Kai was relevant. To me, I considered Pilaf.
Pilaf too, but I mean, they'll make a joke and then they'll go into something, serious that's happening, or they'll just cut to something completely different.
Right.
It is just more of a transition kind of thing. Not that the humor didn't work or that it was, ill-fitting. It's just transitioning back to, oh yeah, we're having a conversation over here.
Yes. How did you feel about that, Ashley?
Honestly, I don't know. I thought it was cool. That's a bad question for me because I have no opinion on it. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm being completely honest. I have zero opinion on it. I enjoyed the whole thing. I think it was good. I see the peel-off part. It was out of nowhere, yeah, but it was still funny.
Right.
I still enjoyed it.
Okay, so what we took from this is that you hated the entire film. Ashley suggests not to go see this movie because this movie, according to her words, if I remember correctly, it's the biggest. Yeah, wasn't the movie like a dick? It just was terrible. It was a piece of shit. It was just terrible. That's either Ashley's words.
I'm sorry, I have no complaints about it. I just liked it.
I understand your hatred for it. Please don't try and cover it up. We can all hear it in your voice. Yeah, I know that's how you felt, and I understand. So moving forward, by the way, was it? Yeah, I know you're sighing towards this movie. Anyway, so Akira Toriyama.
I hate you so much. Oh my God.
Okay, stop. I understand. Stop talking about the movie. We're trying to still talk about the movie, but not so much about how you feel about it. Anyway, so okay. Was it just me, or did you two notice? It looked as if Akira Toriyama actually made an appearance in the movie. Twice.
What?
First off, the first time he made an appearance.
Where exactly was it?
Actually, I'm sorry, not twice in this movie. Once in the special, right? Not in this movie. The special when Tarble appeared, right? That Shonen Jump thing. He was actually, the way he's drawn in the manga with like it looks like it's like a gas mask thing. That was on Gohan's computer as a desktop icon.
Yes, I remember that.
And then in this film, right, it looked, I believe, unless I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, then I'm sorry, it looked as if the farmer was Akira Toriyama, or at least how he draws himself, like in a human form. I mean, maybe I'm wrong here. If you think I'm wrong, we still have some time on the show. Call in. The number is 718-664-9468. Number again being 718-664-9468. Call me and tell me I'm wrong, because I feel like I am. But it looked, because it didn't look like it was, what's his name, the doctor from Dr. Slump. Because if it was him, then it feels as if you would have seen Arale, or Arale, like with him, you know, the robot girl. Which is a very fun series, actually. I'll make sure to lend you that as soon as I can. But it, you know, it looked like, so she wasn't there. It was just him farming. So I believe that was Akira Toriyama. That was, because they had a lot of random cuts too, by the way, which is like, you know, like to the people in the city, which some of them were funny, but other ones were a bit confusing because it felt as if they were truly just completely random cuts of like, So, like, I guess it makes sense, obviously, because, yeah, they do want to show other people going, what? But you can also tell that, you know, these cuts, a lot of cuts that I consider some to be jarring, not all, but some, were there because the movie lasted an hour and 25 minutes. Like, I wonder if they made this film and they actually made it to, you know, have us believe, oh, this will be in theaters. You know, not just the Japanese theaters where they, like, bunch 3 movies together. Oh, no. This will be in American theaters, you know. Was it hour 25? You know, that's a normal movie. Like, that isn't the standard Dragon Ball Z runtime. That was, this movie was done by 20th Century Fox.
I definitely didn't see that one coming.
What, what's the runtime?
No, like that it was going to be in American theaters. Even with the runtime, like, the first time I think I saw something, it was either a post on the internet or maybe it was a commercial, and it just said, you know, Dragon Ball Z, Battle of Gods, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I just saw that recently. That just came out in Japan. It's like, wait a minute. What's it talking? Why is it talking about it here?
Yeah, no, well, the thing is, remember, it came out last year in Japan. It only came out in Japan that for you to see recently because, of course, something that people forget, it takes a very long time for DVDs to come out. Because in America, we're just like, oh, yeah, we can just download it because there's a theater rip, you know, or we'll see, you know, when the second it comes out on DVD, bam, we can watch it in English. But in Japan, you know, first off, theater rips are actually a lot harder to get there because there are a lot of, I think there are stricter rules and more people are about the honor thing. So you'll have, like, clips, but you won't have full movies. And even if you do, it's hard for someone to translate a movie when it's a freaking theater rip. You know, someone just with their camera in a theater. So it's a lot harder. So usually you wait for the DVDs to come out, you know, maybe sometimes 6 to 7 to 8 months later. So obviously in that time, you know, it took a while for it to come out here. And, you know, even it subbed. And then by the time it came out subbed for a bit, all of a sudden you start to see that it, you know, it's coming out in theaters already in English.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyone saying that it took a while for this movie to come out, we hate you. Because, remember, we've talked about this on our other shows. Back in the day, 11 years. 11 years for these movies to come out, and this took a year. All of you, shut your holes. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'd like to say. Just shut your mouths, please. Thank you. And, yeah, now that we're close to the ending of the show, but we still have a little bit more going to press on, Tarble was referenced. We've been referencing Tarble. Tarble, Vegeta's brother, was actually referenced in this movie. Both things are canon. Hooray!
Oh, dear
God. No, it's cool. I agree.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. Just Ashley sounded like Mr. Satan there for a second. Or just Satan. I'm not sure which. The way that, I don't know if anyone else heard that on the radio, but the way it came in on my phone sounded like... So, yeah.
Wait, what?
No, seriously. Like, she just said, did you hear that too, Tristan? Like, she said, yeah, but on the phone it was like, it was really intense. It was really... said Matt in a manly voice. So, yeah, Tarble
and now
was
you
referenced.
wonder why no one calls our show.
Yeah, right? This is why. We currently had one listener. Sadly, we've seen them leave. No. We currently have 3 listeners. There's Matt, there's Tristan, there's Ashley, and hopefully more. But anyway, speaking of Tarble, though, what I think it was great was, in the Japanese version, Bulma was like, really? Like, you know, he's in space, you can't find him? But what's hilarious is in the English dub, when Vegeta says, oh yeah, sorry, he's in space, like, Bulma screams at him, so you couldn't get his number? Really? Couldn't get his address? You know, your brother came to Earth and now he's just gone in space? We're just missing a Saiyan? That's awesome. Thanks. But it's very funny. Also, speaking of the fact that, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but they did say, oh, yeah, you know, there are a few Saiyans out there, and you know, there's only a few on Earth. And it made me think, like, oh, are they referencing Tarble, and are there more? You know, what if there are more Saiyans? I mean, I know in theory, we had, you know, Turles from Tree of Might, who Turles, yes, is not canon. But still, we have, you know, we don't know. That's the cool thing about this movie. I mean, yeah, let's jump ahead a bit. Ashley mentioned before about the different universes that they mentioned. This can go in so many places. I mean, for all we know, this could be the last movie, and they only made that so that you can think, like, oh, the adventure can continue forever. But for all we know, they can, like, not other crossovers. Like, I don't think they'll be like, hey, look, it's Goku and Naruto, right? They'll do specials like that. They actually did a Goku One Piece special. But they're not going to do, like, you know, something crazy, I assume. But it's still very interesting, isn't it? Like, you know, Ashley, Tristan, to see that there's a lot more potential and there's a lot more people that Goku can fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word.
It's always nice to keep it a little bit open-ended to say the adventure can always, you know, continue on.
Well,
or,
you know, that's,
you know, live out their lives, you know, kind of just having parties like they do in this.
That was, Ashley mentioned, she just wants an entire movie based on that party.
Oh, yes, that's right. I want just, like you said, an entire movie with just that party.
Yeah, she really enjoyed. You loved Beerus so much. His hip hop and just everything that was happening. You know, the way he was what was it? Just his spins and everything. You were a huge fan of his dancing capabilities.
Yeah, no, he was awesome.
But
he can move not as good as Vegeta, but
yeah,
the best of them.
He just comes back next and he challenges Goku to a dance-off, and he's like, okay, if you lose this time, then I get to destroy your planet.
But it's going to be the whole planet.
It's going to be the entire film. The entire film is just, you know, it's... What is it?
Goku just looks over at Vegeta. It's like, Vegeta, you got this one, right?
Yeah, home dog.
Now they choose me. Damn it.
But getting back to the actual movie, dear God, I like that Goku wasn't happy with his god powers because he didn't get them on his own. Like, he always wants to be stronger, but it's his power, you know, without help. I mean, he's gotten help before, yes, but usually 9 out of 10 times it's in the movies that rely on filler. Like, not Spirit Bomb help, like actual, like you know, in the Broly movie where everyone gave him their strength, or, you know, stuff like that. Or he absorbed the Spirit Bomb in Super Android 13. But again, neither of those movies are real. They don't count. So, and they helped him get to the power level at that point, but he didn't stay at that power level. You know, where in this, the fact that it was giving him a new form that he could use to fight Beerus, he was pissed in a way. You know, like he wasn't happy, which is really cool because it shows you, like, it's just those lessons, you know, where it's like they want, you know, kids or just people to think like you have friends there, which, hey, be happy you have friends, but don't completely rely on them, you know, to try and get somewhere. It's your work that you have to put in to get somewhere in life.
Yeah.
Okay. Both of you disagree completely. You're like, you know what? Fuck this guy. Hate him. He's so stupid. I always get help from everyone that I can get help from. Screw Matt. To which I say, I don't like me either.
I always take everything that I can from everyone else, and then I kill them.
Okay, you murdering welfare bastard. All right. Just like I get welfare from the government, and then I kill people. Tristan Walter, everyone. This is Tristan Walter. I'll say this much, though, as if that's a good segue. How about that fight at the end? Like, wasn't that actually a really good fight at the end? I mean, I know, Ashley, you loved the theme song that they threw in there, that insert song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, she was
badass.
jamming. She was jamming in the theater. She was like, yeah, this is my jam. Oh, yeah, Goku, beat up Beerus, yeah. It's like, all right.
That was one thing I was going to say. Like, I think it was after, their fight goes out into space, and, like, when I watched this movie, I didn't actually feel the feeling of Goku, charging up a Kamehameha wave and getting goosebumps from it. Like, it's been a while. Like, I mean, not that I still don't enjoy it, but it's like you don't get that feeling after a while, and this one actually brought it back. I'm like, oh God, he's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Kamehameha's in space, man. Ashley, how did you feel about them being in space? I'm sure you loved it, didn't you?
No, I thought it was bullshit.
Oh, really? Oh, well, why did you think it was bullshit? Please, tell the class.
Shut up, I liked it, okay? It was cool. I like more when they're, like, in the center of the Earth, though. Whatever that was. I don't think it was exactly the center, but
actually,
below their surface.
What's interesting is, here's what's cool. I know, I understand, I did too, and here's the thing. In the video games, you can actually have a point where, like, in a lot of the stages, if you hit them hard enough in certain sections of, like, islands and stuff, you can punch them into the islands or, like, into the center of, like, things like that. So I think it was kind of like a nod to, because I've never really seen the center of, like, Earth in the setting of Dragon Ball Z, right? But now we did, because, like, they have those settings in the game, so they were like, screw it, let's just use them. Right? The same thing happened, I think, in the special with Tarble, where they showed Gotenks using Tien's volleyball attack, which I'm fairly certain was never used in the show, and you can also tell me, Ashley, was never used in the manga.
No.
So,
I think he actually did, but it was back in Dragon Ball when he fought Goku in the World Tournament.
Right.
I think he did actually use that attack once.
Right. So long ago that everyone didn't care anymore. Right? And it's like,
I completely forgot.
As did I. And that's how long ago it was. So it's just, it's a nod, but it's like, still, I've only really seen it in the video games, which confused the hell out of me as a kid. Just volleyball attack. What?
Yeah.
Like, I don't, what? But,
and you've been playing Budokai, replaying Budokai recently, right?
Yeah, so, well, there's no volleyball attack. Actually, I haven't played as Tien yet, but I'm sure there's volleyball attacks.
Okay.
Because, damn it,
yeah,
Tien.
there is. Yeah, the volleyball attack. And Tien just gets the most, just the face that he makes. When you get to it, I'll let you, call me when you do. You're just going to call me and be like, oh, it's there.
I'll show Ashley that tonight. It's just really funny. But anyway, so Ashley, so you didn't like them being in space. I'm assuming it's because you didn't like them. There's no air to breathe. So, right? So how could they talk?
Oh, yeah, that was my big thing. Like, I'm sorry. All right, I'm gonna sound real dumb. I know it's Dragon Ball Z, and it's like, oh, none of it's very realistic or anything. But damn it, there's no sound in space. Like, there's no sound in space.
Yeah.
Why were they hearing each other? It's space. I know
because
it's
they're
gods.
gods. Because they're gods. That's why. Because
I don't know, man. Science.
Also, Whis was eating sweets in space. I'm sure you like that too. Just in space. Whis.
At least he wasn't freaking. I mean, I guess he was talking in space.
Whis. Whis. Sweets. Space. Next movie. Whis eats sweets.
They should make a movie like where it's like, like I think it's Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown, like where he goes around to different areas of the world trying their food. I want that with Whis going to different galaxies and everything, sampling their food.
And
like,
then if he
just
doesn't
that,
like food,
just that.
And if he doesn't like it, Bills destroys the planet.
Yeah.
So Bills is the judge, which so how many planets are being destroyed? Oh, none. Oh, Bill Beerus says one. It's like, oh, well, planet's destroyed. But you like the food. Well, I didn't. It's like, but yeah. So also, what I think was so how interesting was it? The fact that, Goku did stop being in his God form, which at first I thought, damn it, you're in space. What are you doing here? Continuity error again. You know what I mean? Like, he's in space, damn it, blah, right? But then, Beerus said, oh, actually, right, you have the powers of a god within you now because you've been a god, right? Good enough explanation, right? I mean, good enough? All right, yeah. No, because that's why he can breathe in space. Because before that, I was like, because when Bardock could breathe in space, I was kind of pissed, I'll admit. Because I was like, damn it, like, you guys only have pods because of the fact that it's a long trip? Like, is that really the only reason why you guys have pods? Like,
holy
I thought
crap,
you couldn't breathe.
Breezen's been lying to us the entire time.
Yeah, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. But so when Goku did it, I was like, come on, come on. But no, Goku's a god, so he can breathe in space, so everything's okay. And
it's just a gene. It's a gene within Goku's family. He can breathe in space.
Only Goku.
He talked to Bardock in Otherworld, and he's just like, so, what's with that breathing in space thing? Yeah, I've just been able to do it ever since, I was born. I think it's just us. Really?
Oh, well, I mean, okay. But hey, I mean, sadly we're going to wrap up the show soon, but I have to say, how much does it suck that Beerus, in the end, he got exactly what he wanted? He destroyed the Earth. How does it feel? Tristan?
You broke me again.
No. Yeah, I don't know how to respond to this.
No, at the end, he was there with Whis, and he broke some of the Earth, and he destroyed the Earth. He destroyed a piece of the Earth.
I thought that was great. I think it was the most literal thing. That was hilarious.
It's
because you destroyed Earth.
But that's what he did.
That little piece right over there.
That little piece right over there. It's like,
because even to say, like, I don't know if this would be like a grammar thing or whatever, but people do refer to like a piece of Earth just as Earth itself. Yeah. So technically speaking, he destroyed Earth. You don't even have to say, oh no, he destroyed a piece of the Earth. No, you destroyed Earth. There wasn't a lot of Earth. It was some Earth. I liked that.
So Vegeta just walks up. So I didn't have to dance at all. His prophecy still came true, but he didn't kill any of us, and I didn't have to do that.
But
he's a good guy.
Vegeta's a great guy, I think, because what was even better, I don't know if there was a great part when at the end when Goku was talking to Vegeta, and of course we learned that Goku was just sitting there waiting, studying Lord Beerus, that jerk, not going to help. But later on, we had Goku say, well, hey, if we have anyone ever just try to destroy the Earth again, we should just get him to slap Bulma.
Yep.
And then Bulma beat the crap out of him.
Basically. And then we even had Goku say, like, oh, hey, you did a great job there, Vegeta. Like, I saw you. You were like, this is Sean Schimmel, by the way, doing an impression of Chris Sabat's Vegeta, saying, my Bulma! I was just so excited. Honestly, I'll say this much, and I'm sure you guys agree, when this movie comes out on DVD, get it. This is really definitely worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It was worth the ticket price, and I personally think it's worth it to get it, and of course to support them, because, you put this out there, you buy, hey, look, you're going to download it once. Sure, if you haven't seen the movie yet, fair enough. If you've seen the movie, you already downloaded it, obviously. But support it. Come on, you support it, you get this release out there, you show that you want it, and then they'll probably bring over some more DBZ. I know DBZ is kind of a thing that always sells, but we're in the digital age now. So if people just think, oh, yeah, someone else will buy it, no one's really going to, that will stop anime. Remember, anime doesn't just come out, all free and stuff. People, there's fans, but there's also companies. So remember to support them. Please do. And hey, maybe one day we'll meet Beerus again, and he'll completely forget who Goku was. I like that at the end, where he's like, what was his name again? Son Goku, sir. Goku, sir. Oh, that's right, yeah. Already, just forgetting who the hell Goku was. It was like, damn it, Beerus. But it's okay, because, we're about to wrap up the show. Whis is the strongest person in their galaxy.
That was awesome.
Wasn't it awesome?
Yeah,
Screaming
I love that. It's just like, oh, no, there's only one person that I can't see, and it's this guy right here. This stuff in his face right here. Yep.
What's great is how you even mentioned, Ashley, how it made so much sense, because usually for Tristan and I, we don't care about that stuff, quote-unquote, making sense, because we think, oh, yes, the anime trope of, someone busting someone else's balls, they're messing with the person, that's what happens. But you said, because you haven't seen too much anime, you said, no, it makes sense because of the fact that Whis is messing with him so much, and Beerus, a guy who will destroy anything on a whim, hasn't murdered him. Why is that?
There's that respect there.
And the fact that he literally cannot murder him.
But I think that's why there's that respect.
Right, of
course.
That's
why he allows all of that.
Yes. Because, hey, he's his master, which is very interesting. Weiss is Lord. And I think it's cool for the American audience, too, because I feel as if there were some people who, whether they watched anime or not, still might not be too used to the whole, very effeminate kind of thing. So they were just like, oh, yeah, that guy's so gay or some stupid shit like that. And they go, actually, that guy, the one that you were just underestimating the entire time, strongest guy in the universe. And it's like, oh, well.
It's because he keeps himself well-fed, he eats his vitamins, he gets all the nutrients necessary.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Because he eats a lot of sushi.
And sweets. He eats everything. But yeah, and sadly we're about to wrap up our show. Before we do, very happy to see Supreme Kai in the movie. That was completely unexpected. A lot of random cameos that I enjoyed. Sadly, Hercule, or Mr. Satan's voice actor, passed away. Rest in peace. He was great at what he did. I don't know what they did to get him into this movie. Sadly, I wasn't able to check. Maybe they replaced him, which is usually hard to do for Japan. They don't like doing that. But again, rest in peace. He's also been the voice of Heihachi among many, from Tekken and among many others, And, a bit sad about that. But, hey, you know what? Thing of life. So anyway, thank you guys for listening to Those Guys and Sometimes Gals, with our special guest here, Ashley Cole-Penn, and, of course, our usual guests, Tristan Walter, and myself, Matt Marrero. Please like us on Facebook, Those Guys on the Radio, or if you're just searching, search up Those Guys. We make a lot of different posts. We do a lot of different shows. We do WWE stuff like Monday Night Raw. Sometimes we do Friday Night SmackDown. Sometimes we do the pay-per-views. Recently, we've been doing more Gravity Falls shows because, hell yeah, Gravity Falls. Every single week, we do a show called This Week in Comics with myself and Anthony Sinandris. And of course, This Week in Comics has to do with, the comics, some comics that came out this week, sometimes some comic book news. The WWE shows I usually do with Satish Ram, sometimes bringing along our guest, Ashley Cole-Penn. And, of course, as you hear today, we do DBZ shows every week about the movies with myself and Tristan Walter. And maybe now, occasionally, Ashley Cole-Penn.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, yeah, okay. She loved us, Tristan.
You have a very fierce attitude towards all of this. We'll see. If I'm awake.
See if she hasn't destroyed the planet. But seriously, thank you for being on, Ashley. We'd love to have you on again. And, of course, again, thank you guys for listening. Also, follow us on Twitter, @ThoseGuysRadio, because we post funny things occasionally. And, yes, of course, again, thank you guys for listening to Those Guys, and we are signing out. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye!
Good night.